Hey guys, this is Justin. I know it's been a long time, Watson, and you're listening to Exposure, the podcast, where we chat with online content creators you know and love. Today we're going to talk about YouTube and their big changes. We're going to have a sit down with JG Traveler. We're going to go into Word of the Week. We're going to have a random wiki article for you. And we're going to talk about my personal YouTube goals for this year. And then that's it. We'll wrap it up from there. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned. And guys, YouTube has made a big change to the TOS, the Terms of Service, and it's mostly centered around harassment and cyberbullying. And a lot of people are speculating this is due to the rise of drama channels, such as Keemstar, aka Drama Alert. I think that's what most people think this is coming from. And I think a lot of people are freaking out because it's very vague. But the thing is, YouTube's TOS has always been very vague. And I remember there was this one time at the YouTube space, we had someone who worked for YouTube and we were asking them about the TOS. And they basically, and this is not to, down anyone at YouTube, but they basically told us, interpret it your way because we don't know either. I personally feel YouTube keeps everything vague just in case someone becomes problematic or a channel becomes problematic. They don't really have to explain themselves as much. But I think a lot of people are freaking out about the TOS because there is a sizable portion of people that are oversensitive. Now, we don't know, since this policy is not necessarily new in a sense, but since the policy has just been updated and we don't know how far they're going to enforce it, we don't know if people who are overly sensitive will be able to abuse this. We don't know how far YouTube is going to go with this. And I think that's why everyone's scared, because people are like, well, if someone said something to me and I reply, is that bullying? If I'm not nice in the video, is that bullying? And I think because these terms are more subjective than there's a clear standard, like for me, bullying is extreme. Like that means consistent physical harassment every day. But that doesn't mean that's for everybody. There are some people that say, oh yeah, I was bullied. And you're like, oh, what happened? Oh yeah, one time I got made fun of. And you're like, oh, that's bullying to you? But then some people are like, yeah, I was bullied. I used to get beat up every day. So if people are offended, will this count? And I think that's where everyone's worried about. And I don't know. Now, luckily, I think a human has to do this. I'm hoping that it's just not like you can mass flag for this. I'm hoping that a human has to review channel bans under this circumstance. But we'll keep you updated on what happens. Also, the YouTube space, which I haven't been in so long. I don't know why I stopped going, but I don't know if this is a policy across the board or just a policy in New York. But it seems that they have upgraded or set a standard that you need 1,000 subscribers to attend any event at the YouTube space now. You know, I'm kind of okay with it. And to tell you why I'm okay with it, it's because there have been times I've went to the YouTube space and met and talked to someone who had just uploaded the first video that day. And I'm like, how in the world did you just upload a video, your first video, and you're already at the YouTube space that day? And I think I think they want people that are more dedicated to being a YouTuber. And not saying that person who uploaded the same day showed up to the YouTube space isn't going to be dedicated, but at the same time, you haven't done anything yet. This is like you just got here, and I'm hoping that's why. It could be other reasons. You know, there's been incidents at the YouTube space. Yeah, so YouTube's making changes. All right, guys, we'll be right back in an interview with JG Traveler.
And we're back with our guest, JG Traveler. Thanks for coming, JG.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, what inspired you to get started on YouTube?
Well, kind of started back in 2009. My friend told me about YouTube. I didn't know it's been around for a while. I was in college at the time. I think I started in college in 06. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. Then I graduated in 09. And between that time, my friend told me about YouTube. It's like, oh, they're doing this new thing called YouTube coming out. I wanted to put some videos on there. My father was thinking, oh, maybe you probably want to do YouTube. And I didn't think about it yet because I always wanted, like, you know, my videos out there or whatever, my music. Mainly I was doing music. So in April 2009, probably about a month or two around when I graduated, or probably a few months before I graduated. It was in June, and then April I had made my account and I uploaded music on my started with 2K Returner.
Well, do you have any goals for your YouTube career this year?
Yes. Year? I would say right now I'm working with some different people on YouTube, trying to get in contact with the bigger YouTubers because they have like a greater, you know, audience, filmmakers on there. Not really a good success, but some of them that are like not really big, but still bigger than me. I've had the pleasure with you know, collaborating ideas in the works. Connor Rentz, he did a adaptation of the Zelda franchise, and that alone, I was thinking, I was like watching other fan made Zelda films, like one dealing with Ganondorf, one was another one that I saw was dealing with the descendant of Ganondorf. And then his version was not dealing with Ganondorf. He was dealing with Dark Link. And I'm like, well, Dark Link is just as bad as Ganondorf to a certain degree when you think about it. Dark Link is basically Link, but has no good left within him. And I'm like, well, that's pretty deep. And Connor did a good idea. He did the idea justice.
Mm-hmm. So what does a successful YouTube channel look like to you?
To me, it's not always views. Because, I mean, they can have 1 million views, but not a lot of feedback. Because I know there's some video views there. They hit the top charts because anybody can just find a big promoter and get 1,000,000 views, and the comments aren't really relevant because some of them might be botted or whatever, but the views are real. It's just the comments is, some of them may be organic. It's hard to tell. And really nowadays, because of how YouTube system has been improved, you can get 1,000,000 views. But if they're botted, they just get deducted from the video itself instead of just taking it down because of botted views. Now they're like, oh, they would just, delete it. But then there's some people that's the videos, they got 1,000,000 views, but where's the likes? There's not really a whole lot of likes. Mm-hmm. But it could be that it could be showed on a network where the video is shown, there's no comment section. And there's tons of sites like that. I was just on a site the other day, I think it was on Facebook, and they had a link to a YouTube video embedded on a site that you couldn't comment on. That video is kind of a view on YouTube's end, but you can't comment on it. They can't like it either. So it's really, they got 1,000,000 views, but very little comments and likes, but it's still legit. They're just being syndicated on other channels. On other sites. Yeah, and other platforms. So that's fine with me. I mean, that's what I plan on joining with, for me, because I'm gonna have short films in the works right now, concerning some stories that I wrote a few decades ago. And I just found out YouTube was just my niche of telling my stories, and I call it digital Hollywood. Mm-hmm. For me, it's not as demanding as what Hollywood is, and plus the way I look at it is that you're all independent filmmakers, and you don't have to listen to the big man on this has to be in here because it's where the industry is going. Forget about where the industry is going. You found your niche, you dominate it, you get your audience, you're set. Now, if analog Hollywood wants to cut you a deal, go ahead. Or if you're in the music industry, you get a music deal. I still say no to both of them because syndicated TV has their own way. If there's a certain way my stories, because some of my stories, they deal with minorities. And unfortunately, the industry, TV networks, have a way of wanting to stereotype certain races. And black, unfortunately, is they have the bottom of a crock pot, so to speak. And so if you're depicting a minority that is intelligent, or they have some kind of strongness about them, which most of my stories deal with a liberation, even though it's between minority classes, one still has a lot of power. They be like, oh, we don't like this story, we're not going to put it on TV. Or they're going to be like, oh, you got to change these things. And then when it goes down to how much is changed, it's not the same story. And I'm like, forget y'all. You get CeeLo. I'd rather have it on YouTube or some other thing and then just run my advertisements through there. You can always find an advertiser to market it, and then plus if you're a YouTube partner, that's where your advertising money comes from.
Right. All right, so we have 2 more questions for you. They kind of put you on the spot a little bit, so hopefully you're ready. The first question is, for someone who's never seen your channel before, why should they subscribe to you?
I would say my strongest point on that would be sci-fi, stop motion. That's what most of the people come to my channel for. I've seen, because my biggest views comes from, I know there's Land Shark's Revenge. It's not really animation, stop motion, but I kind of brought in a little bit of animation, 2D animation with the Land Shark part of it. I've done some video game footage in it, Smash Brothers. But my biggest series so far that's still getting views is between the Super Mega Madness show and Seller Stop Motion car show, which I did a stop motion of the car collections that I've had for 15 years or so, and then later on, I decided to buy other. I think I made 5 videos total, and people come to my channel and they're looking for something unique that's never been done before. Well, back in 2009, there wasn't any sci-fi vlog series or any vlog series based on a novel, and let alone right now. I since then rebooted the series, and the only thing that's up on JD Traveler channel now concerning Memoir Lauria is the anniversary videos, but they're just comedy, because it's the way how I did it. But now they're on the channel Traveler's Frontier, and I reviewed a series, better storytelling, because I kind of like the other series. But the vlogs was too long. It was running like 10, 15 minutes. I wanted something that was less than, between 5 and 7 minutes, no more than 8. And the new vlog series do that. Uh-huh. So people come to my channels and they want to see something different. And they're going to get that. Okay. Because no one has actually done a whole series on stop motion. Maybe they've done like 2 or 3 videos or whatever, but not something like the longest Super Mega Madness Show episodes that I did was, I think I did a parody off of Star Wars called Net Battle. I think it ran between 10 and 12 minutes. Mm-hmm. There's no stop motion that I've seen on YouTube with series with one episode that long.
So
it took probably about a few thousand shots to finish.
So they can expect something different from you.
Right.
All right. So for the second question, if you could have any YouTuber's login information, you could do something good, you could do something bad, like delete their channel or promote yourself. What YouTuber's information would you want?
How many do I get to choose from?
Just one.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I had I have like some kind of like a bucket list of all of them, but I see the main ones. It's gonna be tough because I could say music category, but I don't want to waste my one wish, because I know we're not dealing with the Namekian Dragon Balls, we're dealing with the Earth Dragon Balls, so I would have to say Freddie Wong. Mm-hmm. Mainly because he does action and sci-fi type of stuff, some things, and I'm like, I would really like to have some of his subscribers come to my channel. Mm-hmm. Even if I had to upload some of my videos to his channel just to get them to sub to me.
I'm Christy Blogs, and you're listening to Exposure.
Hi, I'm Thorne from www.youtube.com/thrnem8, and you're listening to Exposure.
And guys, we're back with Word of the Week. And this Word of the Week is Spange. And the definition is to collect spare change either from couches, passerbys, on the street, or any numerous other ways and means. Okay. I guess it's just spare change, and you just, compound. I mean, I guess. Will you use this word? Okay, here's an example of a sentence. Jimmy doesn't have enough money for the show. He will have to spange. Also, it's a verb. Interesting. I mean, I know it said to collect, but it just sounds weird. It doesn't sound like a verb. Spange. I don't know. My OCD ticks. Spanged. I spanged all night. It's weird. It just sounds weird. It sounds like it doesn't mean what it's supposed to mean. It's a weird term. I don't know. It makes me cringe. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not going to use it. Don't use it, people. Okay, we'll be right back with a random wiki article. Hey guys, we're back with a random Wikipedia article. Now, on Wikipedia, they have these certain links that you can click, and it brings up a random article. So we don't know if we're going to get something interesting or something boring. But let's see what we get. Everyone loves to gamble, right? Okay, so we have Allah Ayam Brahim. I think that's how you pronounce it. It means the days in English, and it is an Arabic newspaper published in Bahrain and based in Mana. Al-Aim Publishing was established on March 7, 1989 by a group of young Bahraini journalists, which was unique in the Arab world. It is founded by the former Information Minister Nabil Al-Hema. Okay. Well, it wasn't an interesting one, but maybe we'll have better luck next week. We'll be right back where I talk about my YouTube goals for this year. And guys, welcome back. I just wanted to talk about my YouTube goals for this year, and they include becoming full-time. Now, I already last year, or beginning of this year, I don't know if it was beginning of this year or last year, but I was just saying that I wanted to make money doing what I do, and then I started, and that happened. I was able to make money. Now, it wasn't consistent. It was a one-time thing for now, but now I want to make it consistent. And I want to expand. And I think a lot of people need not focus on the views. And if you're going to make a plan where you want to expand and grow and become a full-time, I think you have to not focus on the metrics. Not that you can't look at the metrics. There are some people that like ignore all the numbers. No, you have to look because you have to see what's working and what's not. But if you solely focus on the metrics, you will discourage yourself, and unless you're growing. But if you're stagnant or, not growing as you want, it can be discouraging, and you may end up not posting or seeing, not seeing this as a viable source for you. And I feel like it could have been a viable source for you, and you ruined it. So I would say don't focus on the metrics as much. Focus on the content. Even if you're doing it for money. There's so many people say don't do it for the money. Even if you're doing it for the money, I'm just not that way. There are some people that are only singers, are only in the music business for money, and they make good stuff. I can't say you can't do it for the money. I would say if you're looking for the money from the beginning, and you may discourage yourself if you're just looking for the money and you just keep looking at the metrics. So I would say you got to reduce looking at the metrics. Don't ignore them, but don't look at it every single day and see, oh, what's changed, what's different, what's new. No, just wait. Look at it maybe once a month until you start growing. And then you can check it more and more the more you grow. And that's basically it. I don't know why I gave advice. It was just supposed to be my goals. But my goals are just to be full time. But that was it. We'll be right back. Well, guys, we've reached the end of our show once again. Thank you so much for listening. Please take a moment and leave a rating on iTunes for us and a comment. If you want to see more content, please head over to Slowlist in Your Face on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Exposure Show. Leave us a like on Facebook at Exposure Pod. That's Exposure POD. Once again, thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of